So this is the first. I'm using the recording from my Surface Go in order to make this video. It's a 1080p, 60 hertz. No, maybe even 30 hertz. I don't know. Here are my thoughts on the recently released and soon to be available to everyone Galaxy Note 10 and Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And my conclusion is it's actually simple. So there can be a 5G version for any phone, and that can come at an extra, since now it's still a luxury and kind of a useless thing. So I don't mind that. But there is a clear segmentation now. There is Note and Note Plus, and I think Note is just there for people to purchase the Note Plus, because when you look at the pricing of this versus the Note 10 versus Note Plus, there really the difference is in terms of pricing is really not that great, but in terms of specs and what you get is quite a bit of a difference. So yes, the CPU is pretty much the same, and maybe the overall experience is similar, but with higher wattage of charging, with a larger battery, which is obvious because it's also larger, comes also a higher resolution for the Plus. Now it's 196 gram versus 168 grams, so there is almost 30 gram difference, 28. That's gonna be maybe favoring in terms of usability the Note 10 a bit, but you need to be a very, very, very hardcore pen note taker and want some slightly better portability to go the way of the Note 10, and don't mind the lack of time of flight sensors, for example, for that. And yeah, the starting prices is like $949 for Note 10 and $1099 for Note 10 Plus. That's $150. But with that $150, you are getting the sensor, you are getting higher, better charging or faster charger, and more battery that should actually accompany you. You will be getting more memory, so 12 gigabytes of RAM with the Note Plus. Anantech says 8 gigabyte with Note 10. But Mr. Who's the Boss said it's actually 6 gigabyte. I don't know which one is the true one, but clearly a much more RAM. That's negligible, but in terms of resolution, you are getting less of a resolution. You are losing some sensor here and there, and you are just getting a little bit of a less of a device. So why would you then choose that, right? You can always choose Note 9, which is still available. It is probably way more affordable than that. So you don't really need Note 10 unless you want the best CPU or the CPU out there, 55. It's actually not exactly the best. I think this is not gonna come with the Plus version, but just the regular 855 Snapdragon. And rest of the world, there's gonna be a newer chip from Samsung, Exynos 980 25. We will see how those two compare. But really, was there really necessary to release two of these phones? Why not just release one, and in fact even drop the price to this Note 10 to $1,000 and make some price reduction with the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus? There was really no reason for that, but unfortunately the prices are keep going up, whereas the advantage from one generation to another generation is starting to dwindle. Yes, you get a bigger screen phone, but also a bigger phone, and now you have a notch punch hole. Actually, not a notch, but that's actually worse than notch, I would say. So if you already have Note 9 and such, you definitely do not need an upgrade. In fact, you are losing the headphone jack in this latest iteration. So I'm pretty much actually disappointed with the Note 10 and 10 Plus review, because I was expecting, yes, some better iteration, but pretty much a similar price segment. But no, with this now differentiation of these two models, 10 and 10 Plus, they also actually increased the price further. So I would say, unless you're a very, very, very hardcore pen usage, a note taker via pen, this is actually a disappointing launch, I would say. There are, because this CPU available now half the price, if not even cheaper. And in terms of battery, 300 milliampere hours. While this is generous, now we have something like Asus ROG Phone 2 that's 6,000, right? So there is really nothing other than, the appearance. Yes, it is very attractive appearance. The punch hole, which is now the trend apparently, there to really be jealous about Note 10 Plus if you own Note 9. Oh, by the way, with Note 10 you are actually losing the micro SD slot capability, which is unbelievable. So how come that you are making a productivity? Yes, 256 gigabyte of entry level storage is actually enough, unless you make, let's say, record a lot of 4K videos. You won't be able to insert an SD card to the Note 10 and make more room for that. That's also head scratching. Yeah, I can maybe understand the headphone jack usage. Maybe business people won't, or productivity people don't necessitate that now that there are wireless headphones and such. And I think with some sale, the promotional sale of the wireless headphones are going to be coming with this device, at least in Turkey. But I definitely am disappointed by this launch. Yeah. So if you have a Note 9 user, I would say stick with your phone and wait another generation.